There was a time when resources seemed endless. But in 2030, the great energy crisis began. With hardly any resources left on our world, global powers created the World Space Agency to look beyond the Earth for answers. The answer was found in helium-3, a powerful isotope discovered in abundance on the Moon. With it, humanity could satisfy its energy demand for decades to come. And so, in 2032, mankind colonized the Moon. Spearheaded by the Lunar Council, the WSA constructed several permanent settlements to harvest and process helium-3. The resulting energy was transferred to Earth through a revolutionary energy network, the Microwave Power Transmission, or MPT. For a time, all seemed well. Then, one fateful night in 2054, the lights went out. No energy. The MPT had gone offline, and communication with the lunar colonist was lost. Without earthly resources to launch a full-scale rescue mission to the Moon, the World Space Agency was shut down permanently in 2055. But a small group of former WSA colonists refused to accept humanity's bleak future. Determined to discover the colony's fate and to restore the MPT, they've been preparing their mission in an abandoned desert launch facility. Now, in 2059, they are ready to launch an astronaut to the Moon. What awaits is unknown and unforeseeable, but the mission is clear. Deliver us the Moon.
Hi there, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to the channel if you're visiting for the first time. Now, as you can see from the title of the video, this will be episode 9, I believe, if I've got that right, of my underrated games, or hidden gems, I think I've called the series. And all that really entails is that I pick some games that I think have sort of, as it suggests, been underrated, you know, flew under the radar, aren't big AAA titles, or if they are AAA titles, or AAA titles that maybe didn't get the advertising, or were overlooked by a lot of people, or maybe a lot of people don't really know they're out. They're not, you know, they're not the big games that everyone knows and talks about, you know, like an Uncharted or a Last of Us and stuff like that. These are games that have maybe slipped under, as I say, slipped under the radar for a lot of people who might not know they even exist. And this is one such game that I personally didn't know existed until I saw it on the service, and it was actually because I saw the sequel coming off the service a few months ago, and I went back and played this one first and then played the sequel, that I knew this existed. And that game is, as you can again see from the title, Deliver Us the Moon. That's the intro that you have just watched. And so what I like to do is I just jump in, I play the first, you know, chapter, the first level, the first 15 minutes, and talk a little bit about the game. So we'll go ahead and do that in just a moment, but before I do, I'd just like a quick channel update for you all, a little bit of a ramble, if you will. So if you've been following along with any of the videos on the channel, particularly the last playlist, the Pro Days videos, you'll hear me say quite a lot at the end of those videos, you know, hope you enjoy the festive period and all that thing, all those sort of things, you know. They were filmed sort of midway through October last year. Meant to go up on the channel then, and I've been getting put up periodically throughout this year. Instead, unfortunately, been going through a fair amount of things in my personal life. Lost 2 immediate family members in the last 8 months, and so the channel has just been neglected. One of the family members was long-term ill, which is why the channel was very spotty with the uploads, because I didn't really have any consistent time to upload, and then the second family member was very, very sudden and out of nowhere. So it's just been a lot, but I'm hoping that going forward that I can put a little bit more time into this and try and do a little bit more with the channel, be a little bit more consistent. I appreciate The few followers that I have that have stuck around, there's a couple of hundred subscribers, and they've been pretty consistent, so I appreciate that and thank you. But hopefully, the aim would be hopefully to get this channel to grow and get a little bit better, so please like, share, subscribe and all that stuff. But just telling you that to give you an update as to why the, saying Happy Christmas and all that at the end of the last videos and stuff like that are only up a month ago, because that must seem weird to a lot of people, and just to let people know why that have hung around, why the uploads have been so spotty and irregular and things like that. Not looking for any sort of like sympathy or anything, just wanted to update the everyone on what was going on with the channel. But hopefully we'll get a little bit more consistent going forward, and I can tell you here now, definitely will be uploading a lot of Borderlands 4 content when it comes out, hopefully, as I have got that pre-ordered and looking forward extensively to playing that. But anyway, what you're here to see is a little bit of Deliver Us the Moon. So let's jump in and play this first chapter, and we'll talk a little bit about it. So, as you saw at the start of the video, that was the sort of intro. Almost serves as a trailer, but that was the intro to set up the game. Hold on. Yeah, as you can see, I've completed the game. Didn't mean that. Like, we'll go back.
Friends and family of the missing lunar colony gather all around the world tonight in remembrance of the 2054 MPT blackout that resulted in a global power outage and the loss of contact with the lunar colony. The blackout caused global turmoil, which ultimately led to the closure of the World Space Agency 1 year later. In other news, the recent formation of the largest dust storm on record has prompted climatologists to readjust their forecast of the equatorial desert's growth rate. As a result of the new storm, the desert could soon cover 30% of the globe's landmass. Several governments have pledged support for refugees, despite reports of resource shortages. The dust storm is expected to hit residential zones between the northern 49th and 50th latitude lines by late afternoon, and pass over the World Space Agency's former MPT ground station in the Adirau Desert. Authorities have imposed a mandatory evacuation of the impacted areas. For countries north of the equatorial desert, temperatures are expected to be a mild 46 degrees Celsius. This was Nicole Page for World News 1, September 16, 2059. Wishing you a safe and happy day.
Yeah, so just letting you have a wee listen to that. So we'll inspect this quickly. I hadn't realised we could move about at that point. I'll let you have a wee read at that. But yeah, so the basic premise of this game is everything you've seen in the intro, effectively. And it's just a sort of, it's almost it's kind of a walking simulator, but there are some puzzles, some timing puzzles, some platforming things like that throughout the game. As far as trophies,
to start the mission. Do you copy?
As far as trophies are concerned, there is a platinum trophy, and it is a fairly easy trophy, fairly easy platinum to obtain. I think you're talking maybe sort of between 4 and 6 hours, something like that, for the platinum. I think I've done it in.
Ground control to Fortuna 1, this is Claire. Please confirm radio contact.
Sorry, I stopped speaking to let you hear the information in the game.
Radio contact confirmed. Make your way to the launch platform and prime the rocket for liftoff. We have to launch before the dust storm hits.
Okay, so that was just getting the Astro tool and getting our astronaut gear. So yeah, so the trophies are fairly straightforward. They are quite easy, and there's not a lot.
There she is, the Taurus 5. It took us 4 years to get her ready for launch. But you need to hurry. The dust storm will hit this area in a few hours. If we don't succeed now, the Fortuna mission will be over for good.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of difficulty with the trophies. You can do them quite quickly, as I said, in about 4 to 6 hours. And it's a fairly straightforward platinum. What I will say is a little bit of caution. There are 1 or 2 that are a little bit on the buggy side. But as you can see, there is, with the Astro tool, I think it's the options button actually, you can go into level select. You can select all the chapters, go back in and collect the collectibles you're missing. I know it says I've got one missing there, but I don't. I've platinum the game already. I just must have turned it off and not let it save. But yeah, there's lots of wee things in this game, and I think it's a very, very interesting story. In fact, really good story. And the sequel's really good as well. I would recommend the sequel too. I tend to only do one from a franchise on my list so far anyway, or on this Hidden Gems list, should I say. I might change my approach to that down the line. But at the moment I probably won't do the sequel. I mean, I think this is a better game than the sequel. I think there's a more interesting, compelling start to this story, and a more interesting story overall in this one than there is in the sequel, although I do think the sequel is extremely, extremely good and definitely worth a play if you enjoy the first. It feels a little bit different, is all I would suggest. Anyway, so what we're doing here is we are trying to launch the rocket effectively. Get to the rocket, launch it, get to space. And you'll see an example of some of the puzzles when we try and launch the rocket, but this is only for the first part of the chapter. This is only the first chapter, and that's all we'll do with this, just to show you what it's like. But this is on PlayStation Plus right now. It's one of the PlayStation Plus collection games, so I highly recommend you check it out if you've got the time. So I do think if you like a quite tense, thematic story, thematic story that grips you with a sort of mystery, then this is the game for you. It's quite atmospheric. If you play it with headphones on, you'll really get a lot out of the game and enjoy the journey, I think, and enjoy exploring space, basically. Well, one planet in particular,
I see you're on your way up to the facility. The control center is located on the top floor. There you can prime the rocket for launch. It's been 5 years since we last received a microwave power transmission from the lunar colony. At first, no one believed it would be possible to transmit energy from the moon back to Earth. But the WSA proved the skeptics wrong. Just like you will, when you get the MPT back online.
Need a passcode there, okay. And I believe it's over here. So 3548. Right now for me. So it's been a little while since I've played it, but just having a wee wonder about letting you see if there's anything that you can then look at. I like to try and play the first level or chapter for you as thoroughly as possible so you get a good feel for the story. And for how the game plays.
Building once functioned as part of the WSA, but it's been our home for many years now. I still can't believe you'll be leaving here for good soon. The desertification of this whole region won't take long after the storm passes through.
Okay, so these are the sort of the things that can be the collectibles. That's not one of the comics. I thought that was a collectible, but they might not show up because I've got them already. Believe it or not, spinning that wee globe as a trophy. I'll let you have a wee read at this. And if I go too fast, you can just pause it and go back to read what you miss. Okay, so there we go. And so as you can see, it's just the game is a lot of walking and exploring, and you use the files and the sound bits and the comms over the radio to fill in a lot of the story. So this you would click on normally. Obviously I've done it already, but a lot of your sound files and that you pick up will be like, they'll look like this here that's in the doorway. So when I step in this, a sound file will play. So I'll inspect this first, let you see it.
Causes for the MPT blackout. 1, the transmitter at Pearson Space Station.
Claire, there you are. Come on, we're celebrating in the other room. Everyone is looking for you.
I need to go over this one last time, Maria.
We've been over it before, multiple times. We're good. Come, it's time to join the party.
It won't take long. I'll be right there.
A true Johansson. Once he set his mind to something, I could never convince him either. You're just as stubborn as your father.
Probably the only thing we had in common. I just don't understand why he didn't restore the MPT connection. He invented the damn thing. And now it's just us. No one else is even trying. If we fail...
Remember what I told you. If it can be done, then we're going to do it. That's all we have to focus on. Go over your notes. Join us when you're ready.
All right. Causes of the blackout.
I was just letting you hear that and then giving you a chance to read this as well afterwards. So this is showing you all like the functions in the spaceship that you should or supposed to have known, or the character's supposed to know. As you'll find out when we get in the actual, I say spaceship, shuttle, space shuttle. As you find out when we get in the space shuttle, we have to try and do all those things. So we'll see how my memory is and whether or not I can remember what I'm doing.
Good. You're in the control center. Get the rocket ready to launch as fast as possible. Calculating new storm ETA. Claire? We have a problem. The storm is approaching faster than expected. Way faster. Time's running out. Keep going, Fortuna. We've been working too long to give up now.
Okay. Now you immediately recognise the room we're in, because this is the first of these sort of puzzles, if you will. One of the easy puzzles. These will get harder very quickly. But this level is just more like a tutorial almost, just to show you how to do things for when you're up on Mars, like that. You can see there's a ladder there, but I should do that first just to show you, because I'll try and know what happens. Oh no, maybe not with that one, it's the other side there. But basically when you go inside the ladder breaks. You'll see I'll do it here just to show. You think you can still reach that and pull yourself up, but apparently not. I'll jump up and grab it.
Okay, the hydrogen valves are closed. Head back inside the control center to prime the rocket for launch. The rocket is primed. You have to launch now, before the dust storm destroys the rocket and everything we've worked for.
So now we're on a race against time, as you can see.
Rocket navigation systems online. We're nearly there. It's just like your training. You can do this. Initiate launch procedure.
Okay, so this is where we've got to look for whatever buttons come up highlighted, basically.
Ground launch sequencer started.
Oh, what's that?
Orbital axis arm retracting. Be a little more careful.
We've got to time in a little bit.
Perfect, just like we've practiced.
Oh, it tells you, sorry. A1, A3, A2 shouldn't be on. B3, B4.
Auxiliary power units booting up. Gaseous oxygen vent arms safely in place.
Just need to do that quickly.
Hydrogen burner system activated. Rocket boosters ready for ignition. Standing by for countdown. Rocket boosters ignition start. Engines ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, start 1. We have liftoff.
And that's us, so we'll let it sit here and we'll ride to the moon. But yeah, this is basically what the game's like, but it opens up a lot when we get on it. Well, I say a lot, a good bit when we got onto the moon, because obviously initially you're in a sort of space station-y bit, and then you go down onto the actual colony on the planet. But yeah, I think there's a really captivating story here. As you go along, you'll start to sort of get more of those audio logs and more the paper logs, and really solve the mystery. So if that's your cup of tea, I think you'll really enjoy this game.
You're on your way, Fortuna 1.
So like if you've played games like another game on this planet, Lifeless Planet, which is quite atmospheric, or if you've played, I'm trying to think what other game this is like, something like Everything's Gone to the Rapture, then I think this game would be very much for you.
The view must have been breathtaking when the first astronauts made their way to the moon just 100 years ago. They knew an Earth full of life. All we know today is dust. If you can bring the MPT network back online, it could restore the hope humanity lost after the lunar colony fell. We could recover, rebuild, and most of all, start thinking about a future. You'll need to find the MPT transmitter at the Pearson space station. From there, the power signal was relayed to Earth. This was the final link in the MPT network before the blackout. If there are answers to find, they're at Pearson.
Claire, we need to head down to the shelter. These winds are getting bad.
Understood. Fortuna 1, this storm is going to jam radio contact. You'll be on your own for a while. To reach the station, you must... Once you're in the... 58-second stage of the launch. Please, deliver us the load.
There we go. I think it's detach the boosters or whatever. And so that's probably as good as any place to end this video. If you enjoyed what you've seen here, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, especially if you want to see more videos in this playlist of my sort of recommendations of underrated games. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope you really enjoyed the video. And if you enjoyed Deliver Us the Moon, or you enjoy the game as a result of this video, you should also check out Deliver Us Mars. I also think that is also a very good game, being the sequel to this one, and I think you'll enjoy that as well if you enjoy this one. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and see you again next time. Bye for now. tell me I was recording that.